Welcome back to PALS TV, everyone. Next, we're going to be heading over to Licking County and joining our friends there for one of our favorite segments of the week. One of our best, I guess, community partners, Together We Grow, is going to be joining us again and giving us some gardening tips. I've talked about, my passion for gardening recently and, really making it a hobby during these tough times. And Sarah, Kim, Mary have been able to really connect us and help us really understand each essential part of gardening and why it's important. And I think we're going to have some special guests with Pam and Mike today. And I spoke about them a couple of segments ago and how impactful they've been within the community and in our program. And we're so grateful to have them. So this is a terrific segment. Can't wait for it. Live from Licking County, we have our Together We Go friends.
Hi guys, we're so happy you're here again with us. We're at our 6th Street Garden, one of our community gardens. It's looking beautiful. This is where we do a youth pick, and we also do we have community gardeners that come out and all kinds of stuff. We have a children's garden. Kim is with us, Kim Bose, and Dan, our garden director, and Lou, Mary Lou, who you can't see because she is filming. But we're gonna give you a little tour, and then we are going to go plant a little bit. So there's a lot going on here today. It's a little windy. All right, let's do this.
Okay.
Okay, so as you can see, it's a pretty big garden. Kind of do a little span. How big would you say this is, Dan?
We got about 40 community beds, and then we got 40 trellis boxes over there in the kids' garden. So we got a little bit of everything going on over here. That's more than an acre. It's probably an acre and a half.
So when you walk in, what we have is we'll kind of go around this way. We're going to go around this way. So what we have here is a community gardener plot. I'm not sure where our U-pick is yet, but I'll show them what a U-pick is. And the U-pick, you guys, is where anyone in this neighborhood or in the community can come in the summer months and pick vegetables for free. And so we give away like how many pounds?
4,000 pounds last year. This year the goal is 6,000 pounds.
So our goal is to donate to our community 6,000 pounds of fresh vegetables and fruits. So that is the goal. And so this year, we usually only have our Lincoln garden, but this year we have 3 different U-picks. We have one here at 6th, we have one at Everett Park, and Lincoln on East Main Street.
What kind of vegetables are in it?
So we have all kinds of stuff. We have zucchini, squash, tomatoes. We have those green tomatoes everyone's after.
We got peppers, green beans, cucumbers.
Yep. Watermelon this year?
We got watermelon, pumpkins. We got a little bit of everything.
Yep. Okay, so as you can see, the community gardeners, I mean, we have probably 10 or
20 plots.
about 20 different gardeners, though.
Yeah, 20 different gardeners.
We probably have like 20 different gardeners that come here, and they've been coming here a long time. This used to be Together We Grow took over for another community garden and kind of have expanded it. So we have a lot of people that have been coming here for years and years, and they just really enjoy it. So this guy
he loves his peppers. He likes hot peppers. He's got a lot of habaneros planted and tomatoes. He likes making hot salsa.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a picture of the water. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we got water stations set up all around the garden so they can water whenever they want to. It's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow, so they might not need to water much. But the sun's really been beating down here the last couple days, so it's been soaking it up.
This garden looks bigger than everybody else's as far as the plants. How come?
Jeff let his stuff overwinter, so the carrots overwintered. So he's got carrots coming up and the onions overwintered.
Yeah, those have been there.
So they've been there. They survived the winter and they're growing again. So he'll have a good, healthy crop coming up.
And for some reason, so we do lay plastic on all of the community gardeners, as long as they don't say otherwise. If they do not want plastic, we don't lay plastic, but we do definitely prefer that they do because of the weeds. Nobody really likes to pull that many weeds, but maybe that's just better for him with this particular plant or vegetable. And this is all, I mean, really very neat out here at this garden, I think. So here's another gardener of ours. He's got a few plots.
What's in the blue buckets along the fence?
Okay, so we have potatoes over there. We can walk over there. Let's go ahead and walk over. You want it?
Okay.
I will. Be careful.
Like I need to take your shoulders and steer you.
Yeah, we'll kind of walk over there. So we planted these potato, what do they call it? Potato buds, sprouts. It's something else, slips, potato slips. We order the potatoes and then you plant them with the eye up and like half it and then plant it with the eye up. And we planted these in, the end of March.
Right.
The end of March. And so they're doing pretty well in these buckets. This is like the third year we planted potatoes in them.
Yeah, we
And
got about 40 buckets all the way down. We'll get about 40 pounds of potatoes.
some Yukon Gold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody has a question, but they haven't put it up yet.
Okay.
Ask them if they have a question.
Do you have a question? And we'll, if you want to read the question, we can answer you. Okay, so
Okay, let's see. I can't read it. Oh, it disappeared.
okay, we'll
I
kinda-
can't see. Okay.
Can't get the
We'll
question.
check on it. We'll check on it tonight. We're out here at tonight.
Super sunny.
It's super sunny out here. We'll check on it later in the show.
Out of the pavilion.
Okay, so there's our potatoes. We have a lot of potatoes here all the way down the fence line. So I don't know really if those are available for you pick if people come in. We haven't had as much luck with them yet. But I will tell you, last year we used these for a United Way event, Ride United, and bikers kind of stopped by different places, and we had Dan made something with these potatoes, and it was amazing. Okay, so we have some more community gardens here. Marigolds planted near the edge, and the reason why is, Dan,
Keeps the pests away. Pests don't like the smell of marigold.
what kind of pest?
Just about all of them.
Because I was wondering, rabbits?
Oh no, rabbits will probably eat them.
Yeah.
Bugs.
Well, rabbits are being pests at some gardens, I will tell you that. And they're so cute, but they're getting on my nerves. Okay, so we will walk this way.
Now this garden here is a little Korean lady. She grows a lot of weird vegetables because she makes her own kimchi. Further up on the very end, she's got soybeans planted because she makes her own soy sauce. You can see all the green onions down the center. That's one of the main ingredients in the kimchi. And over on the outside is all the different kinds of cabbages that she uses in it. So it's very, she comes over every morning. She gets here real early, scares the rabbits away, and does her work and gets out of here she comes at 6 and it's out of here by 9. But you can see she takes well care of it.
Yes.
She likes the vertical garden because like the rest of us, she's getting a little older and it's hard to squat down, but it's even harder to get back up once you squat down. So anything you can grow vertical, we like to start growing vertical.
For sure. So she's a very smart lady, a really sweet lady, and she's been coming here for years and years. So we have some veteran gardens here, so they do get a garden for free with Together We Grow. So we have maybe 10 veterans that garden with us.
Who mowed down the rhubarb?
Huh?
Who mowed down?
Not me.
I didn't do it. All right. So this is a big garden. It could take us a while, but we walk. If anyone can kind of check time for me as I go.
Oh, raspberries.
Yeah. Okay, guys, this is the best part of this garden. So, I think. So, pretty soon, when you come here, you can just walk right along this fence line and pick blackberries and raspberries. And they are delicious. And we have them all the way down. I think we're going to keep from weeding in between them this year because I don't think it matters, I guess.
I weeded them all already once.
Yeah,
Okay.
they look good.
Well, they do look really
Did you
good.
see how healthy they are down there that you pruned? I mean,
Yeah.
they just got buds
So they're-
everywhere.
They're looking really healthy, and you can probably pick these like 4 to 5 times in the summer,
Oh yeah,
if not more. I don't know if they produce more as the years go. Do they?
If they get older, they'll produce more.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, they get bigger and bigger.
So that's a perk of coming to this new site of a U-Pick is you'll be able to pick those berries. We've had those for like 5 years.
Now this garden over here on the picnic table, Bob's not real mobile, but we set up this situation so he can garden on top of the picnic table.
So he'll be out here and he'll have his trellises up. He's got different
Yeah, here's
things.
his trellis down
Okay.
here.
He'll have his trellises up, and he grows corn in these. He grows
Potatoes,
potatoes. Actually,
tomatoes.
I see a potato coming up, but he hasn't been here yet this year. But yeah, his garden is coming off the table and overflowing, and it's awesome.
Hi,
That's
here's
one
our
of the prettiest
shed.
gardens. That's one of the prettiest.
Yeah.
These are our storage sheds here. We just keep our lawnmowers and our tools and all that kind of stuff in here. The Taj Mahal of gardens so far this year belongs to Lillian Sanders.
Yeah, and a few other ladies that come out together.
Her and her sister come over and they grow vegetables for the whole family. But you can see she does a lot of vertical. She likes to put a lot of little decorations in there. And she comes over and takes really good care of it. So she brings her own plastic over to put over top of plastic that we put down. So she's got a double layer there to keep the weeds down.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. There's so many different elements to her garden that she does. It's unique, and she needs an article. She needs an article done.
Well, one of the things she does, a lot of times the tomato baskets aren't tall enough. So what she does is she stacks 2 of them on top of each other so she can get them so that the tomatoes can go up this tall. A lot of times they'll come out the top of this thing and spill over. So she's taking advantage of that. And then those round cages, they used to surround industrial lights, and she sourced them from somewhere where they used to have a big light in it. It would be up on a pole in a factory somewhere. So she does a lot of different things where she finds free things or she finds ways to make sure that her plants have a way to grow up.
And like her strawberries back there, I don't think any rabbits really are going to want to get in there. Maybe, but that's really cool.
And it looks like she's got some mirrors here, and the mirrors scare away birds. So she can hang them on some of her things and they kind of glitter in the sun and it'll scare away some of the birds and maybe rabbits if they're low.
Very, very cool garden. I mean, it gets better every year, you know?
Yeah,
It really does.
that's why I call it the Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
Well, she's got a lot of spinny things and those will help keep away some of the critters and
Yeah,
bugs when the wind's
Yesterday
blowing.
they were going crazy because it was windy out
Yeah.
here late yesterday afternoon. But
And besides, they look kind of cute.
yeah,
Yeah. I thought they were just to be cute, but when I apparently. All right, and then we do want to show you some more very important parts of the garden. And then we'll get to the Here We Grow Gardens. This is well, let's just save that. Let's save that for a minute. Here's some fruit trees that were planted
4 years
4
ago.
years ago. We were just doing some pruning. Kim was pruning these, and we're seeing some blooms. Is that what they kind of blooms on
Oh,
our
yeah.
fruit?
Here.
For the first time.
Here, right here, we got an apple starting right there.
Apple starting.
Oh, cool.
So pretty cool. U-Pick. Our U-Pick beds, just in case you do come by and you want to pick some fresh vegetables. Let's see. All over there.
They're all marked. On either side of the center rack there.
So it'll be on either side winter walkway. And I'm sure there, obviously there's gonna be someone here that's gonna need help with that. Put them in the garden and we'll direct them in the right place.
Are there you pick hours?
So, I'm not sure
They
exactly.
will be. There's going to be 3 gardens where they have you pick at. They'll be on separate days. Normally hours are from like 5 to 7 in the evening, where it cools down a little bit. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to have tables set up outside the fence. So if normal gardeners have too many vegetables like tomatoes and cucumbers and zucchini, when they come on, they'll set them on the table and people in the area can come by and pick them up off the table, regardless of what day it is. So.
Actually, I think it was PALS too that I was talking with Sarah Bowen about possibly doing like in our Here We Grow Gardens groups, making a box too for putting in for the gardens to put those fresh vegetables. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, they've got those going on in a lot of neighborhoods now, where traditionally they just been putting non-perishable stuff in them, like peanut butter, macaroni, cheese, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to get some built, probably not this year, but maybe next year, vented, so we can put vegetables in them, and they stay fresh. So.
Yeah, and that way, beyond you pick hours, we can, you guys can come by and pick them or get them. Okay, so this is this part of the garden we're super excited about because we have a lot of really cool different things we've been doing. So we have, for one, we have this Zen garden. It's just something we did last summer. It was a little fun project, and all of those things were donated for it, which was awesome. Down to the rocks, everything about this was donated, and so there's that. So if you guys want to come by and just sit here, you get a lot of little, some Zen going on. Okay, Dan the man. Dan, actually, we put up these trellises. It was an Eagle Scout project last year for a Boy Scout, and so we put up these trellises and we planted around them, but they didn't do that well because of the ground really was like that clay soil. So Dan has built these boxes all around them, and we plant loofahs in these and any climbing plants like what else?
Any kind of squash that climbs, any type of gourd that climbs. These will actually be gourd tunnels. Once the plants start growing up over the trellises, then the gourds hang down, and it's really a pretty effect there. So, and then over on the other two is the loofah, which is our loofah sponge project. So, these are kiwi. This is a male kiwi, and this is a female kiwi. Now you can see the male's climbing a lot faster, but he's trying to get over to the female. They'll both climb over there and meet, and then they'll pollinate, and they'll have little kiwi babies.
And you guys, look, a teacher from Carson Elementary just dropped off some loofah that the elementary school kids planted. So she brought these over. Some are doing okay, some aren't. We did not expect this whole thing to happen back in March, So we were already expecting it to ground, but now we are going to hit the full next day around these trellises. So the elementary school students started this. Great. Very nice.
Yeah, Sarah went out to 4 or 5 of the elementary schools and taught them about soil and taught them about how to plant stuff. So unfortunately, that was a couple weeks before the school shut down, so they didn't get the loving care that they needed to, but they're surviving.
Yeah. So, so this is the biggest thing, you guys. This is the children's garden. We've always had a children's garden over here, but we have just put some new enhanced features. We have a fence around it that we're actually working to stain today, or it's been a project for the past couple weeks. And Brooklyn is painting some tires over here. She just graduated from high
if you
school.
look, you can see the flowers. You're gonna get hung up. They got some flowers planted in the bottom of them.
Yeah.
They'll get hung up on the post.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna hang these flowers up so that they can break down. So then the flowers will all break down and they'll hang down. Very pretty.
And just to let you know, this is I'm gonna read it.
Funding for a children's garden provided by a grant from Finley Smile Foundation.
Yep. Thanks, Mara. Thanks so much. Have a good one. They're gonna be around these trellises.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I'm gonna have to come down and look at them.
Yeah, definitely. We'll take off. We'll take good care of them, and thank you. So, okay, you can keep those. Yep. Sorry about that, guys.
Put them on somewhere they can climb up.
Busy
the
time with
vines
the garden.
like to climb up.
Okay.
You guys talk about it.
So, you guys, let's kind of just walk in here real quickly. Be careful, watch your step.
Okay. I can't see you, so
You can't.
Just hoping
Yeah,
that it's aimed the right way.
Yeah.
yeah.
How much time do you have?
It's 20 after.
Okay, we're good. Okay, guys, this is one side of the tourist garden. Okay, so this is gonna be. There's so many things still that we're doing, planting and things like that. Here are some beds, you know, perfect size for the kiddos to come out and plant in. So we have 3 of those, and we've already planted some things in there: some zucchini, kohlrabi, and okra. There we go. And I'm not sure what's in that one.
This one is bush buttercup squash.
Yep.
That's the favorite one this year.
So let me just tell you my favorite parts.
There's sunflower quartz.
Now, if I'm hot, I'm gonna back up. I'm moving in. This beautiful thing. Now, this is our sunflower court. You can see that you know, we've laid out. Dan and Mike have laid out the perimeter for it. We planted some sunflowers of all different sizes to give it some density. So we have, Mike planted these about 2 weeks ago. They're already coming up. So probably in August or September, they're going to be really big. There's mammoths and all kinds of different varieties, but super excited about that. I'm sure the kids, if I'm excited, I'm sure the little kiddos will be excited.
You're
And
not much-
Sarah will get
You're
lost
not
in
much
it.
bigger
I'll
than
get
a little
lost.
kid.
I know that's why they like me. I know they can really relate to it.
Still a work in progress here.
Yes.
This is a construction site a little bit.
We got a late start due to the virus.
And the weather.
Yeah.
Out in the rain. So this side, Mike's over here finishing staining the fence. We have strawberries planted all along the side over here.
And blueberries are across the back corner over there.
And blueberries in the back corner, so.
There'll be a couple swing sets in here and a couple picnic tables, so. When parents come over to garden in their normal garden, they can drop the kids off over in the kids' garden
Yeah.
to play, so.
And it's double fenced in. So we have a fenced in garden, then we have the children's garden fenced in even more. So that gives you a little more security when you're planting, you know? Okay, so let's go over to, so for the past few years, we've always planted with the Here We Grow Gardens in this bed over here. Aside from the greenhouse and the high tunnel, we have this bed that's designated for the Here We Grow Gardens participants. So we'll walk over here. And Mike and Dan played some plastic and tilt this. I wish I had a picture of how it looked 2 days ago. It was in bad shape, so we had to definitely get this all ready and laid plastic. And I don't know if you guys have laid plastic in your garden before, but Dan, I might need you in this. But basically, what we're doing is we take a big roll of black plastic,
4 foot wide.
4 foot wide. You usually need at least 2 people for this. You're not going to be able to do it by yourself. You're going to have plastic flying all over you. But anyways, you roll it. You have to use rebar or some kind of
Sean, I did
PVC
rebar
pipe.
to start it, and then some things to hold the rebar in. So you
need-
start it with that, and there's the thing that holds it down, and then you unroll it. And all along the sides, they run some more rebar to keep a nice neat edge.
And so, well, you know, let's go ahead, and what we have here is we have some tomatoes that are planted by the PALS participants, and they look beautiful. We've been using all of our tomatoes that were planted by seed in the greenhouse
That one's cut off.
in March. Early March. So some little animals have gotten to these, unfortunately, but I think they're going to be okay.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
You just
So,
need to get in real dirt out of the pods.
okay.
And then we've got
Need to show 'em
green
that.
peppers that PALS planted, and we got sweet banana peppers that PALS planted. So we got a little bit of everything, but it's time. We can't wait any longer. We got to get it in the dirt so it'll start growing good. Kim's going to show you the proper way.
Some way anyway. All right. So they have this handy dandy thing. It's actually a bulb planter, but it works out really good in these gardens, especially because you have to pop through the plastic. Now these have been laid out so that they have enough room to spread out and do what they need to do. But what we do is we take this, we stick it in the ground, and we turn it, and it ends up pulling out a plug for you.
And there's a button too that you can
You
actually.
can
Yeah, you just
do like that, so you keep your little thing, make sure it doesn't fly all over. And then this garden's really, really dry, and the soil's not that great.
I got some water right behind you if you want to put it in the hole
Yeah, so
first.
put some water in the hole before you plant, and then as there's
Should try not to walk on this as much as possible, but you have to.
so you'll pour some water in there. And then take your plant, you put your fingers on either side, you kind of push it out. And if it has a lot of roots like this, you want to make sure that you kind of rough them up. That'll help them get us started going into the new soil around them. Put that in, and it looks like it needs to go a little bit deeper. Get some more out of there. Put it in the hole and then fill it in. Make sure you pack the soil around the roots.
some potting soil behind you if you want to
Oh,
put
you
on
do?
top.
It would be better to put in some good soil. You can kind of see that it's not that great. Oh, perfect. There's a bucket here, and we can take some good soil and pack it around. Make sure that, especially when you're under the plastic and everything, you haven't left air gaps. You push the soil all the way around. So that's what we do with each one of them. It can go pretty fast if there's a couple of you. Oops. Somebody can be making all the holes, and somebody can be doing all the planting. That's got. So we'll do another one. Just take it, twist it, pull it out. There it is. And then take your plastic. And then we'll do the same thing. Where's that
Right behind you, I'll do it.
watering bucket? So go ahead and put some water in there. Put our fingers on either side, push it out, rough up the roots. If you don't rough up the roots, sometimes they just keep growing in a circle. Put that in there, and we'll use good soil around it. So you've watched us plant a lot of tomatoes this year. That seems to be the thing a lot of people like.
We grew about 700 tomato plants and about 400 pepper plants in the greenhouse up there. You guys planted most of them, so I just watered them and kept them alive and growing.
And
Took
thank
them
you
out of
so
the,
much for that, Dan.
huh?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Dan's been our plant babysitter while everybody's had to be home.
Yeah, I social distance with plants.
Yes.
Yeah, hey, you need that on a t-shirt. Okay, so we're just gonna, you know what, we really need, obviously, some tomatoes, some peppers in here, so we're gonna continue and do this. And we have our littlest garden assistant here today with
We have
us.
our littlest gardener.
Where is she?
She
There
is
she is.
our
She loves the water.
Yeah,
Rosie.
you want to bring you want to help water one of these? Maybe this bucket's lighter.
Oh, that one's kind of heavy.
Maybe this one's easier. And then you can water that. What do you think? Oh, you want some help? There we go. Isn't that
So
nice?
she really enjoys the gardening experience.
Yeah, this is Sarah's daughter.
So we're prepping her for, she is our littlest helper. But she knows to be very careful with plants, right? And not pull them at the top. Huh? Do you know what those are? Say peppers.
They're peppers. Yeah, there's two of them that didn't make it, huh? Okay. So how far apart do you put peppers?
About 2 feet apart.
Those
Tomatoes
right
3 to
there,
4 feet, peppers 2 to 2.5 feet apart.
Probably put one here.
Yep, should be good.
So I just need to grab.
Whoop. I'm getting pictures of your back here, probably.
That's okay.
Oh, thank you.
Dan,
sweetheart.
did you explain what kind of what this was? Is this a potting mix?
It's a raised bed potting mix soil, which is all organic, and it's got organic material built into it. It's a natural fertilizer, so it just helps the roots start taking off a lot better. Because you can see a lot of the soil in this part of Ohio is clay. So anytime you can put organic material in there to break down the clay, it just helps the roots to be able to move better.
Rosie.
You get into some of that heavy clay and the roots won't go through it. It's so thick.
I think it'd be a good time. Does anyone have any questions while we're planting? Maybe we can go.
We can go over to the pavilion probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't see it, huh?
I'm going to walk to the pavilion, so you may just see grass for a little while, okay? Let's see. Now, if you have any questions, I'll be able to read them and we'll relay them out to get some answers. Any questions that you can type in?
Or anything you'd like to see that you did not see when we were walking around? Anything you'd like to know more about?
From Mark, when does the tomatoes grow? When will we actually have tomatoes? Is that the question?
Well, at the rate we have planted them, because we started, what, 2 weeks early.
Tomatoes take anywhere from 65 to 80 days, depending on the variety.
So 2 to 3 months?
2.5 months, I'd say you're good.
So let's see, it's June,
July,
July, middle of August?
middle of August,
Middle of August.
middle of August to end of August, you can start making ketchup and salsa.
Yeah. And my favorite way to eat tomatoes is right off the vine, like the little cherry tomatoes in the sun. They're good.
And CJ says she loves the garden.
Thanks,
That's
CJ.
her message.
We love you, CJ.
And let's see. I see another question getting typed, so we'll wait here a second. While Sarah takes a little rest leaning against the post.
I mean, you get tiring out here in the garden. What is it, 9:30? Oh.
Yeah, I hope before the end of the summer we can actually have a picnic here, but not yet.
We have a little bird's nest.
Yeah, that's what we use the pavilion for here. You notice we got a grill over there, and we try to cook as many fresh vegetables out of the garden as we can.
Yeah.
And throw some skinless chicken breasts on there.
Yeah.
Make a healthy alternative and show you how to use the fresh vegetables in tasty dishes. So.
Yeah, and we'll do a lot of that. And we did have a nutritionalist come out from Licking County Health Department and go over the My Plate.
Okay, Mark wants to know when's the best time to grow onions?
Dan?
Onions are best planted early in the spring. If you want green onions, they'll be ready in about 30 to 45 days where you can start eating the green onions. And then for the full-fledged onions, it would take another month to 6 weeks before you could start pulling those out. But onions like cool weather to start with. So you can plant some in the early spring, and then you can plant some in the late summer, early fall. So you can actually get 2 crops of onions a year if you want to.
Okay, I think maybe it's time.
Hey everyone, I'm back on here. I had a couple questions actually. What about fertilizer? Do you recommend using any type of fertilizer on the plants, and then how often?
Fertilizer, do we
Fertilizer,
recommend?
the only chemicals we introduce in any of the community gardens is organic. So we only use an organic fertilizer. It's best when you're first starting to transplant them to get an organic transplant starter. That helps the roots start taking effect. And then every 2 weeks for the first month. So I'd fertilize 3 to 4 times the first 2 months are in there. Then you don't need to worry about it the rest of the summer.
Okay. Is there a specific brand or anything like that you would recommend? Does anything work better than others?
I don't think we've tested a lot of different ones. I just always use Miracle Grow because that's the most popular around here since Scott's is based up in Delaware County up there in Marysville. So they have the market on it at the Lowe's and Home Depot. So I just get the Miracle Grow organic fertilizer and use it from there.
I that on those tomatoes we planted in a container 3 weeks ago, and it's amazing how much they've grown, and they're already budding.
That's right.
So they'll soon be green tomatoes. It works.
So support local too. So Scott's is a great suggestion. I like that. What about pollinating tomatoes? Have you ever heard about that? About, you know, touching the flower at a certain point that maybe it tends to pollinate it a little bit more?
No, we got enough bees around here, natural pollinators outside. Now, I don't know if you've been up and seen the high tunnel or not,
Yeah.
but I've got to roll the sides up and down at night depending on what the weather's like. The way I pollinate up there, believe it or not, I take a leaf blower in there and blow up against the flowers that are blooming. That moves the pollen around so it'll get pollinated. And a good suggestion is if you have a garden plot somewhere, you can get all kinds of native wildflower seeds, which Sarah, they made seed bombs at one of the sessions this year, but wildflowers are natural. They naturally draw a lot of bees into them. So the more bees and insects you get, the easier pollination is.
And it's that vibration from landing on the flower. Is that what that is, more or less? Is that how the bees?
Yeah,
basically-
well, bees go in to suck the nectar out of the flowers, and they get pollen on their feet. And they go to the next flower to suck the nectar out, and they transfer the pollen that's on their feet to the flower that they're on and pick up more pollen and go over to the next flower. It's just a continual process.
And such a cute process of that.
One of the best segments we have here every week. Thank you, guys. This was amazing. And it's great to see Together We Grow and how far, you know, that dream has come of just trying to help people and do a good thing. And now look at your own personal paradise you're standing around and still being able to deliver that mission.
Real quick to, you know, Mike, who is the founder of Together We Grow, the director, well, director's husband, over here. So we're going to go say hi to him real quick.
Good
Okay.
problem.
They said they love coming to the garden. And they said it's amazing how more things that I found people.
Mike, we love what you created, sir. This is truly amazing.
All right,
Like-
Yep.
we love working with you guys too.
All right.
Here, enjoy your spring and summer.
Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you. You do the same. All right. Well, we appreciate Together We Grow and everything they do for the community at large, and especially us here at PALS. They're just wonderful partners and great people. So great job, Sarah, Kim, Mary, and Dan. A wealth of knowledge. So we really appreciate all of that.
All right. See ya.
All right, everyone. You enjoy the rest of your day. And everyone else, come back and join us for your lunch hour from Cadiz, Ohio.
Okay.
Thanks, Together We Grow.